Like, can't blame you for it. 100%. Very chill.
Scary. Like, how are you? Let me ask you a question.
Okay, Ramona, stop.
Have you ever even... Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay. No, I think there might be something special that comes out of that too. Thing that I've done recently, you know, movie night and everything. I know that I've been such a shitty friend.
So Sterling Point is a 2026 coming of young adult drama series. The narrative follows Annie and her twin brother Connor, who discover they actually inherited a remote Canadian lake house, Iceland, from their late in this case, father. So that is the whole plot of, you know, in this case, the Prime Video series. And currently it has one season available. And yes, we actually did get a lesbian queer storyline, which me personally I did like a lot, especially because this one was highly anticipated and a lot of people thought that their relationship would be a big disappointment, even though the ending was kind of disappointing. But I kind of do understand why things had to end the way it did between the two. And yes, Ramona and Oona, they had a very, very, very good storyline and also a very consistent storyline on the show, and that just made the series for me personally even better. So let's break down everything that happened between the two, because if you guys don't know, they have been going viral a lot, and I just had to come here and also give my intake on their story. So stay tuned and let's get into it. First, we're gonna start off with Ramona. She is a cynical, jaded, and emotional guarded local teen living on the Canadian island. She is, you know, revealed to be the biological sister of Annie, you know, that she never knew actually existed. On the other hand, we have Oona. She is a bubbly, charismatic, and also very flirtatious local lesbian who lives on a nearby houseboat and acts as a primary caregiver for her younger sister, who, you know, in this case, Ramona also have a very, very close relationship too. So at the beginning, you can see that Ramona, she was actually out of, you know, in this case, the island. She was somebody somewhere taking care of an elder lady. So later on, she actually ends up returning home. And when she returns home, that's where she actually ends up reconnecting with Oona, because they start working together again on their both missionary type voluntary work, if I'm not mistaken. So they basically already had a friendship. And while Oona was gone, and then, sorry, in this case, while Ramona was gone, Oona, obviously, she moved on with her life. You know, she started, you know, to be a little bit more flirtatious towards other women. And she actually ends up meeting this young girl, you know, at, you know, in this case, a local cafe, and they start dating low key. But obviously you can see that they started to bother Ramona, because Ramona was starting to have feelings for Oona. But in this case, you can also see that Oona always made it very clear that she only seen, you know, Ramona as a friend. But somewhere low key, you can see that she kind of did have feelings for her, but she just never knew how to manifest that feelings, until one day, you know, you can see that in this case, you know, Ramona, she was extremely bothered for the fact that Oona went to a party, you know, with another lady, with the lady that she was dating. And later on, they had like a conversation by the lake. They almost shared the kiss, and that was the moment, you know, Ramona realized that Oona might have feelings for her too. Then later on, you know, Oona, she actually ends up asking Ramona out, you know, for them to go to the cinema. But while she went to the cinema, she actually ended up going with somebody else, and that's something that really bothered her. So they kind of got into a very heated, you know, altercation with each other, because, you know, there's the moment that Ramona, you know, started to realize that maybe she was, you know, she was being naive in thinking that Oona has the same feelings for her, because Oona, she didn't want to confess her feelings to Ramona, because she was afraid that she could hurt her, or that she wouldn't be enough for her, because she feels like Ramona, she does deserve the world, and she just didn't want, you know, in this case, you know, to break her heart. But later on, they had a very emotional conversation, and we can see everything got cleared up between the two. The two start dating. So at that point, they are together. They're lovely bubbling. They are spending time together, going on dates, having fun, hooking up. Also, Ramona opens up about her insecurities towards Oona when it comes to intimacy, and, you know, Oona super respectful about it. So they kind of just were building a very strong bond, friendship to lover relationship, and we can see its progression, you know, as the series went by. But obviously, as we all know, always when it comes to lesbian relationship, there will always be a plot twist, and this time it was no different, because yes, guess what happened? So after Ramona actually ends up finding out who she really is, her identity, where she comes from, her father, her all of that, things definitely took a big turn in their relationship as well, because now Ramona, she has to face reality of a reality that she actually didn't knew existed, that she wants to continue in this case in the Canadian Iceland, that she wants to explore this relationship with her father that she didn't know she had, and go to New York and and just spend some time with him and go live a life she never lived, or does she stay in the Canadian Iceland, keep having her relationship with Oona and just keep on having the life that she always had and which she's actually very, very happy with. But obviously you can also see, that that was boring, or in this case, Oona, because Oona realized that Ramona, she wanted to leave, and that's something that bothered her. She didn't want her to leave because she was like, hey, I know you uncovered this whole truth about your life, but, I don't want us to end. But if you want to go and see the world, I will not be the one to stop you. Go ahead, go do you. And then you later on, you will tell me how it went. So it's kind of a point where they broke up during their conversation, because at the end of the day, Oona also doesn't want to hold Ramona back to go explore a life she never lived in a big city in New York with a father that she never knew she had it. She doesn't want to hold her back, but she's also hurt because she feels like she is being left behind, and that Ramona being in this case in New York, she will forget about her, and and then they will probably never be together. So also the way she communicated it, you can see that in some way, somehow Ramona felt like Oona, she wanted to control her destination, control her decision, and there's also something that really bothered her. So they actually end up breaking up. Yes, during that whole conversation, they end up breaking up. And later on, you can see that in this case, Ramona and her sister Amy, they had a conversation of what they're gonna do now with this whole new reality that they never thought they would uncover. So they basically have decided that Ramona will go to New York or live the life she never did, go spend and with some time with her father, their father in this case, and just go experience something she never experienced before. And on the other hand, Amy, she has decided to stay at the Canadian Iceland and take care of, the cabin and, the heritage they have going on there. So that was the decisions of, in this case, the sisters. And on the other hand, Oona also ends up staying behind, in this case, in the Canadian Iceland, and they actually end up having a breakup. And I do feel like it does make sense for them to be broken up at this point, because I do feel like Oona, she has to figure out a lot also when it comes to her younger sister, also being there for her, trying to make her also, be very, discover herself and just be true to herself as well, and also figure out her emotional state as well, and not being so emotional dependable on others. On the other hand, Ramona, she needs this time to go live with her father and have experienced something she never did, so that in the future, if they reconnect, she does not regret not taking that opportunity to go experience life outside of her comfort zone. So the breakup was kind of, how can I say, harsh, but it was a breakup that, in my personal opinion, it was needed. And if we possibly get a season 2, I do see them reconnecting. Obviously, we don't know if they're going to reconnect as enemies, if they're going to reconnect as lovers, or will they just not care about each other and both will move on and with other people. But for this case, we will have to stay tuned and see what's going to happen, because only time will tell. But so far, go ahead, go watch. Once again, it is available to watch on Prime Video. It has one season available, and it is truly amazing in my opinion. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Until the next video, hope you have enjoyed this one, and goodbye.